Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged and in my personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. I promise you it's not personal. So we need to talk about something that I noticed in tonight's episode regarding this whole Kimmy, Maurice, DUI saga, if you will. I did appreciate that Marceau, at least in the scene with Tisha, made it seem like he wasn't really, featuring what Maurice did and was going to let him handle it, so to speak. However, later on, you guys were still on social media talking about free Reese, and him driving up to Black with a QUE in a Lambo and holding bottles of liquor. As if you just weren't arrested for a DUI. So again, where is, the accountability there? So that's what I don't like sometimes about these scenes that get filmed. It's like, if you're going to stand on business, why not hold him accountable right then and there, instead of trying to, make this look glamorous? That there's no such thing, you guys. That there's no glamour in any form of arrest. There is no glamour in any sort sitting in jail. No matter how much this show wants to make it seem that there is. It's not the case. So a few things, right? Because we have this Kimmy and Mel scene, right? Where they're working out and all the things. We have Mel's people bringing in some healthy meals, some healthy food and all this and that. They're having a catch up. Mel is expressing to Kimmy that she thought things were good with her and Destiny, right? And then when she got back to Huntsville, she basically found out that Destiny was talking bad about her. And then she also found out that Destiny was going on all these podcasts, basically just slandering Mel's name. And Mel was confused because she's like, I haven't said anything about you. I haven't said anything to you. I thought we were good. And so Kimmy's like, well, have you talked to her about this and all this and that? And Mel's like, no. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, right? So then we segue into the real reason that this conversation was happening, and that was to get the tea on what's happening. And in this particular scene, you guys, Mel said that she reached out to Kimmy. Now, remember in the last episode, she said she wasn't contacting Maurice, right? Because she felt a way about how this cast doesn't support her events. But if it's somebody else in particular, i.e. her ex-husband, that they'll go with no questions asked, right? Or they're going so that nothing gets exposed. I don't know which way you want to call it. But anyways, Mel says in this scene that she reached out to Kimmy and she knows about, quote-unquote, husbands doing some dumb stuff, right? And then you could see Kimmy's defenses go up there, right? She's in defense mode. She doesn't want to say too much about the whole Maurice thing, and, is really trying to play coy, is really trying to downplay it, wants to give Mel absolutely nothing. And I find this so funny, you guys. Because this is the same cast that has 20 questions for Mel about Martell any given week on the show ever since season 1, episode 1. But the minute Mel asks questions about them, about these people that are supposedly supposed to be her friends, now all of a sudden it's a problem. You can't say anything. And Kimmy's trying to frame this as people are all of a sudden, having questions but didn't reach out to her. But Mel just said in this scene that she did reach out to you, Kimmy. So what is the truth? And the reason I bring this up is because in a later scene Kimmy has with Destiny, Kimmy does, she makes it seem like Destiny and Martell were the only two people out of the entire cast that reached out to her, but Mel just said in a previous scene that she did reach out to Kimmy. She just didn't reach out to Maurice.
But she did reach out to Kimmy to check on her and everything else. So again, as much as you guys want to frame this as Mel's the problem, Mel's the issue, the cast doesn't like her, Mel has reached out to these people. Mel has tried being a friend to these people. And it's interesting that Kimmy did not want to acknowledge that because it doesn't fit the narrative. And if Mel didn't reach out to Kimmy, why didn't Kimmy correct her in that scene? That no, you didn't. The only people that reached out to me was Destiny and Martell. She didn't correct, Mel then, but she wanted to correct Mel when Mel was trying to get to the bottom of what was the truth about this DUI, what was the truth about this arrest, and when he got arrested, and so on and so forth. Kimmy had no problem speaking up then and there. If she did not want a narrative to go a certain way, that was no issue then, right? That was no problem then. But nonetheless, I find it interesting because it doesn't go with the narrative that nobody reached out to you except for Destiny and Martell. In the next scene with Destiny, you did not want to call Mel at all. You didn't want to contact Mel at all because you didn't like the last conversation y'all had. And you knew that this was going to be a setup. You knew this was going to be a setup for an ambush of a Mel and Tell confrontation, and you wanted no parts of it because you basically just gave Mel nothing as it pertained to Maurice. But then it's going to look sketchy and shady if you're so-called still friends with Mel, trying to be in on the scheme with Destiny about this so-called event, even though there is a protection order. Like, it's so crazy to me how you guys want to pick and choose when you guys want to be messy and you want to be sneaky and all these things. You have all this stuff to say about everybody else. But when the spotlight is on you guys run and hide. You guys give absolutely nothing. You want to pretend that you're above it all. And then you get pissed at people when they call it out. But y'all have no problem calling out Mel and Tell. And calling out all their drama that has carried y'all and gave y'all checks for 9 seasons. And I'm just trying to figure out, why the hypocrisy? Why the double standards? It made the news about Maurice's arrest. So it's fair game to be discussed. You're the wife. You've gone through all this stuff with Maurice. We thought you and Mel were friends. You can't give her anything? And you're trying to play it like nobody reached out to you, nobody contacted you. But Mel did say that she reached out to you and checked up on you and all these things. Whether it was via text or phone call, I don't know the extent. But she did contact you in some capacity when this arrest happened to see how you were doing and to make sure you were okay. And then you wanted to frame this as, oh, well, I can see Mel was concerned about my health and my wellness, but that's not why I was here. Well, here's the thing. It's reality TV, Kimmy. Every scene is a setup for something else. Every scene is a setup to discuss something specific, to facilitate drama. That's why it's called reality TV. Don't act brand new now. 9 seasons in. But again, it's not my fault that your husband has presented this image of perfection. And now all of a sudden, when there's a blemish and there's a receipt to go with the blemish, you guys want to pretend that it's nothing. You guys want to pretend that it's no big deal. And that's the issue people have as far as transparency goes. A real one would have said, listen, I do not condone my husband's behavior. I do not condone this DUI. There's some misinformation that's going around or whatever as it pertains to this arrest. I'd rather let all of this play out in court and boom, it's done. But when you do that defensive stuff and give people nothing, then it makes it look more suspicious. And then it doesn't help matters, like I said in a previous video and a couple previous videos when the original DUI happened, about how quickly they wanted to give a story to Funky Dineva to put out to his 400,000 plus followers as the end-all be-all of what the truth was, only for the court documents to reveal something else as well. And that's the piece that's, frustrating. The same people that are making these accusations that there are these alleged secret meetings that Mel is having with bloggers. I don't know what they're talking about, right? Because I have no Patreon, I have no behind the scenes, nothing. So I don't even know what that's about. But nonetheless, apparently, people are making these accusations that Mel is holding meetings with YouTubers. She's holding meetings with YouTubers on what topics to discuss, right? But literally, you have a receipt, you have proof of Funky Dineva saying to himself he has firsthand information from the Scots on what supposedly happened with this DUI, i.e. this is going to be the PR version that everybody needs to be spreading, except for the official court documents that, speak to in the actual arrest record, is a completely different narrative. And that's the issue that people have with this cast, Kimmy. But you can't sit here and cuss out the fans about it or make the fans look like they're the issue. We just want to get to the bottom of the truth. Now, if you're embarrassed and you're sick of, whatever this is with Maurice, that's one thing. But the projection is what's getting annoying. Right? Are you going to have the same energy to Tisha and Marceau as well? Because they had plenty to say about your husband's arrest as well. And again, you were just in a scene with Mel, right? So why didn't you tell Mel to her face how you truly felt if you felt a certain way that you didn't like the energy about that conversation? And that's what I mean. And Mel did the same thing too. You were right there face to face in front of Mel's face when Mel told you she was offended by the interview that Nell and Chris Fletcher did, right? Where she's trying to say that Mel and Tell are the same. They're both stubborn. They're both this and that. You had that opportunity right then and there to get your feelings and your grievances out. And you guys clammed up. But now, all of a sudden, you guys are going to be the same people that are going to, have a go at Mel at the reunion and be all big and tough at the reunion, even though technically, per you, Kimmy, on Mr. Mondays, said that you guys filmed this reunion, and we haven't even seen the second half of the season play out. We haven't seen what your cast members are saying about each other behind each other's backs in other scenes and other confessionals. So how is this a proper reunion if you guys couldn't even wait until it was closer to the finale to film the actual reunion, which is what usually Bravo does, right? They'll usually try to film the reunion a month out or so, give or take, to film the finale. And allegedly, sometimes the housewives, if you will receive advanced copies or advanced screeners of at least what the episodes are going to entail for the final episodes. Not necessarily, we don't know if the confessionals are included in that or if it's just the raw copy of what they expect to air on those last few episodes, and then they shoot that reunion. But to basically have a situation where we're going to have at least 10 more episodes or so, which is going to obviously take us into the early quarter of next year, we're looking at March and April, the way it's going, right? February, March, for a potential reunion episode. So by that point in time, there's so much that has happened since then. There is so much time that has passed since then. There is so much that is going on real time with these cast members that the things that we're going to see them get into it about in the reunion is going to be very old news. So I just don't get it, you guys. And then they're supposed to allegedly start filming again in January because Carlos King likes to brag that this is the only reality show where everybody works year-round. And I'm just like, this is not a flex because even at Bravo, they don't work this hard. Make it make sense. So there's that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.